If we're going to delve into a study on religious evidences, it would be wise for us to begin with the very fundamental question of is there a God? Unless we can satisfactorily answer this question, no other study we do religiously will be of benefit. Since deity, whatever or whoever that might be, is at the center of every religion, let's spend some time together examining this very important subject. Let's begin by attempting to account for existence. By existence, I don't mean God's existence. We're not even going to consider God's existence at the moment. We first need to account for existence itself. The fact that we exist, that the world we live in exists, with all of its billions of features, and that this earth is just a speck in a much larger universe. We are not going to discuss evolution right now, because whether or not we can prove that mankind evolved from lesser creatures does not answer how everything came into existence in the first place. The issue is, what caused the universe and everything in it to come into existence? We can break down the possibilities into two categories. The first possibility is an impersonal cause, and the second possibility is a personal cause. Let's first look at the possibility of an impersonal cause bringing about existence. Within the scope of an impersonal cause being the reason for existence, there are two possibilities. Number one, the universe brought itself into existence, meaning out of nothing. Or number two, the universe has always existed. Is it plausible that the universe created itself out of nothing? To answer this question, let's consider a very fundamental law of science that is undeniable and does not change, and that is the law of causality, also known as the law of cause and effect. This law has guided scientific inquiry for thousands of years, and is the basis for many other common sense laws of physics. Science proves that without exception, every effect has a cause. In addition, science teaches that no effect can be greater than its cause. So in our study, the effect we're considering is existence. Is it plausible, given the law of cause and effect, that the universe brought itself into existence, created itself from nothing? The answer is no. Something cannot come from nothing. Scientists have never been able to create something from nothing in any laboratory, not even the smallest bit of something. So how can we say it is plausible for this entire universe, with its infinite complexity, to bring itself into existence from nothing? Stephen Hawking, in his book The Grand Design, attempts to convince his readers that the universe did bring itself into existence from nothing due to the law of gravity. But by asserting this, Hawking admits that there was at least something called gravity that existed, and neglects to mention how that something called gravity came into existence without mass, without something. This is a common trend among skeptics, to insist that the universe came from nothing, and then attempt to define the cause of this nothing by pointing to something of substance and existence. But since we are studying evidences, let's not be fooled by either believers who refuse to consider evidence, or scientists who refuse to consider evidence. Something from nothing has never been done and cannot be done. Okay, well, what if the universe has always existed? Is this plausible? Well, Newton's first law of thermodynamics states that there is only a finite amount of energy, and that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Newton's second law of thermodynamics states that the amount of available energy is continually decreasing. In other words, things tend to wear out and fall apart. And we don't have to be scientific to know that nothing lasts forever. Everything tends to wear out. But if the universe had existed forever, why hasn't all of the available energy already been used up? Scientists have known for years that the universe is winding down and eventually will end. And if there is an end to the universe, then the universe is not eternal. And if it is not eternal, it had to begin with something or someone, an outside intelligence. So common sense dictates that the universe could not have been created by an impersonal cause, because that would violate the very fundamental laws of science from which everything we know functions. What we are left with is that the universe had a beginning, and that this beginning was a personal cause. This is the only other choice, since we have shown by evidence that the universe was not created by an impersonal cause. Well then, if everything has a beginning, And if this beginning is the personal cause we call God, then the natural question to ask is who then created God, if God in fact exists? If God truly is behind existence as we know it, if He is the great cause behind this lesser effect we call our universe, then He is the creator of the laws that uphold and guide our universe, and therefore independent from the limitations of these laws. God would have to be eternal and self-existent Himself. He is the one uncaused cause. But whether or not this personal cause is the God of any particular religion is a moot point at this stage in our studies. Let's first ensure that we can come to terms with the fact that behind existence is an outside intelligence. And since every cause is greater than its effect, that something or someone that created this complicated, fearfully and wonderfully made universe has to be exceedingly great and powerful beyond our wildest imagination.